Mildred DeLuise Taylor, a famous author known for her children's fiction, received the prestigious Newbery Medal in 1977. She was born in Jackson, Mississippi on September 13, 1943, to Wilbert Lee and Deletha Marie Taylor, and had only one older sister named Wilma. The Taylors lived in Mississippi during the time of slavery. Life in the racially segregated South was difficult. Mildred's father, Wilbert, endured repeated racist assaults which made life unpleasant. Therefore, a few weeks after Mildred's birth, he boarded a train to Ohio, determined to establish a home in the North where he and his wife could raise their daughters in a less racist society with more opportunities. Within a week, her father found a factory job in Toledo, and 2 months after that, when Mildred was 3 months old, Wilbert brought his family to the North. Although Mildred and her family lived in the North, Taylor's father never stopped loving the South and the family that remained behind in Mississippi. As a result, throughout Taylor's childhood, her father regularly took his wife and 2 daughters to go visit them. It was during those visits to Mississippi that Taylor learned about family history and storytelling, both of which would years later become essential to her writing career. Furthermore, to Mildred, the South of racism and segregation was also a South of family and community. Family strength is an important theme in Taylor's books, and stories about her family, as told by her father, were an attachment of her childhood. Mildred calls these stories a different history from the one I learned in school, and credits her father's storytelling with her decision to become a writer. All of Taylor's novels are based on stories she learned about at family gatherings throughout her life, and are classified as historical fiction. In the 1950s, Mildred attended newly integrated schools in Toledo. After 4 years as a successful student, including membership in the Honor Society and leadership in student government and the school newspaper, Taylor graduated from Scott High School in 1961. She enrolled at the University of Toledo, hoping to major in creative writing or journalism, but her father encouraged her to study something practical. Taylor then declared herself as an English major who would also certify to work as a high school teacher. She graduated in 1965 with a bachelor's degree in education. Upon graduating from college, Taylor achieved one of her longtime goals, which was to serve in the Peace Corps. Following several weeks of training at the University of Utah and in Tuba City, Arizona, Mildred was sent to Ethiopia, where she taught English and history for 2 years. When she returned to the United States, she enrolled in the University of Colorado, eventually earning a master's degree in journalism. After she graduated from the University of Colorado, Taylor settled in Los Angeles to pursue her writing career. There she married Errol Z. Daly in 1972 and had a daughter by the name of Portia, but the marriage shortly ended after 3 years. Taylor published her first book, Song of the Trees, in 1975. This book, like all her others, is based on true events. It is narrated by 8-year-old Cassie and is about the Logan family and the struggles they endured during the Great Depression. Following Song of the Trees, Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry was published in 1976. It continues the story of the Logan family and later receives the Newbery Award in 1977. Highlighting on the brief time between 1933 and 1934, this book shows how discrimination can be observed daily. In this book, the Logan family struggles with cruelty and stereotyping in their community, while their father, Mr. Logan, is working on the railroad. The Logan kids are more fortunate than the rest of the children. Their parents own the land which they farm, rather than having to sharecrop the land as most of the area farmers do. However, as the story progresses, the Logans begin to struggle to keep hold of their land. When several black men are set on fire, the Logans help organize a boycott on the suspect's store, who wrongfully overcharges his customers for their supplies. One night, as Mr. Logan heads out to shop in Vicksburg, someone interferes with the wheels on the wagon, causing them to fall off on the road on the way home. Mr. Logan is trying to put the wheels back on when white men pull up behind him in a pickup truck. One of them fires a gun and injures Mr. Logan. Startled, the mule takes off and the wagon runs over Mr. Logan's leg, causing it to break. The incident prevents Mr. Logan from returning to his job on the railroad, and Mrs. Logan soon loses her teaching job. As events progress, Harlem Granger, a rich plantation owner who is anxious to buy back the Logans' land, forces them to pay back on a loan they once took out from the bank. The climax occurs when T.J. Avery, a troublemaking friend of Cassie's older brother Stacy, gets involved with the robbery and assault along with two white boys who he refers to as friends. A group of outraged white men appear at the Avery house, intending to hang T.J. However, Mr. Logan sets his own cotton on fire to distract the landowners from hanging him. The landowners and Logan family work together to put out the fire. Ultimately, the Logans are able to come up with the money and continue holding on to their land. Following her award-winning Newbery novel, Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, Taylor continues her story about the Logan family in her sequel, Let the Circle Be Unbroken. In this book, the Logans carry on their battle with the Great Depression, powerful, greedy white landowners of rural Mississippi, segregation, and domestic tragedies that threaten to destroy them at every turn. The Logan family, as strong as they are, maintain their dignity, pride, and faith, and manage to keep the family together. Moreover, other books Mildred Taylor has written are The Land, The Friendship, The Gold Cadillac, The Well, and Mississippi Bridge. In addition, her books are geared towards children ages 8 to 12. And aside from the Newbery Award she received in 1977, her books have given her a countless number of awards such as the ALA Notable Book Award, Pacific Northwest Young Readers Award, the Coretta Scott King Award, the New York Times Outstanding Book of the Year, the Boston Globe Horn Book Award, and many more. Despite her many awards and widespread recognition, Taylor remains a humble and private person, rarely granting interviews or making public appearances. She is one of the few authors in American literature to have effectively portrayed a personal glimpse into the lives of African Americans of the past. Rather than her books being solely historical fiction, they help young readers see and feel the evils associated with racism and have done much to teach modern Americans about the effects of segregation and prejudice. This is why the books of Mildred D. Taylor are worth reading and studying today more than ever.